Good day and welcome. Today I want to talk about the Northern Sea Route, the newly fully developed transportation corridor that's become a competitive alternative to traditional maritime routes between Asia and Europe. China is launching regular large container ship delivery services via the Northern Sea Route. It's called an NSR now. Thanks to its cooperation with Russia, this Arctic thoroughfare will become a new and major corridor for international trade. The Northern Sea Route will enable Moscow and Beijing to establish independent, secure and manageable logistics routes. So what is the situation with the Northern Sea Route and what is its outlook and future? Well, stay with me and I'll cover all the aspects you need to know about why this is a game changer in global logistics, enhances the security of Chinese exports to Europe, and increases the cooperation between these two BRICS partners. Now, the Russia-China partnership in transit and transportation is a strategic response to the growing need to diversify global logistics vectors. For China, which is seeking to reduce the cost of shipping cargo to Europe, the Arctic Sea Route offers significant advantages. This is particularly advantageous in terms of the reduced distance, with a 15 to 20% decrease compared to the traditional route via the Suez Canal. Plus it's safer, there's no Houthis and other kind of attacks going on in the region. So it's the most interested parties are the large Chinese state-owned companies. One of them, COSCO Shipping, which is a huge company, completed its inaugural voyage along the Northern Sea Route back in 2018. Now, acknowledging the potential advantages, the Chinese have implemented both the trial and commercial voyages. In 2024, there was a 62% increase in the number of containers transported compared to the previous year, and a 30% increase in the number of ships transporting. Now, before I continue, many of you watching do not subscribe. So please hit the subscribe button and join our community, then hit the alert bell so you get notified when I post a new video. And if you want to support me, you can make a donation by clicking on the thanks button at the bottom of the screen, or by using the Buy Me a Coffee link in the credits. Now, Russia, for its part, provides full navigation support, escorting Chinese merchant vessels with their icebreakers, some of them nuclear powered. Currently, the infrastructure of the ports along the route is also being further developed, making Arctic transit possible even in the most challenging weather conditions. Now, the South China Morning Post reports that China has concluded that the time is now right to launch their regular container service along the route. Now, the route starts at the Chinese port of Ningbo, with subsequent stops in Shanghai and Qingdao. It then continues through Arctic waters before ending up in West European ports, which include Felixstowe, Rotterdam, Hamburg and Gdansk. Now, it's evident that Beijing is striving to establish an uninterruptible trade route with the West, while also prioritising its own food and energy security. Analysts estimate that China's level of food self-sufficiency is about 60%. With regard to energy, 2/3 of its oil consumption is imported. Now, according to data from the General Administration of Customs, China's oil purchases were 553.4 million tonnes last year. Now, according to estimates by the Chinese oil and gas company Sinopec, total consumption was 750 million tonnes. So maintaining supply stability is a matter of the utmost importance for China, according to Director of China Centre at the Synergy University. She stated that this objective can be realised by a proactive utilisation of the Northern Sea Route. Now, the southern route, or what we used to call this 21st century maritime Silk Road, is becoming increasingly risky. Due to conflicts, there's a risk of China's imports of minerals and food from the Persian Gulf and Southeast Asia countries through the Malacca Straits, for example. They need to diversify their logistics routes. Now, significant market power formula. It's actually mutually beneficial for the two countries to cooperate. China has the financial resources and the technology to develop the shipping and the port infrastructure. Meanwhile, Russia has the legal control over the route and the practical experience in Arctic development. Now, this combination allows Russia and China to accelerate the implementation of projects related to the modernization of the route, navigation, digitization, and increased mobility reliability. In return, Russia's guaranteed a transit flow and a technological partnership, as well as revenues. China, in addition to the other advantages, provides a sustainable and cost-effective corridor to Europe. Now, geopolitical assets, and Russia stands to benefit from a number of factors, and these include the creation of new jobs, the improvement of living standards in the Russian Far East and the Arctic region, and obviously revenue from transit fees and port services. Now, according to Remga, Beijing has expressed a particular interest in investing in energy projects. They're already into Yamal and Arctic LNG. So other significant projects include the construction of the Bovanenkovo Sabeta Railway, which is going to cost about 113 billion rubles, which is about $1.2 billion. And the development of the Sabeta port for LNG transportation, ensuring all year round navigation along the NSR, and that's going to cost about 20 to 25 billion rubles. Now, following the introduction of the regular container services along the route, China's and Russia's trade's also going to increase. Plus, at the same time, their costs are going to fall, which will reduce the final cost of price of products. Now, according to Arthur Lee, who's vice president of the Association of Importers and Exporters of Russia, the benefits for Russia will increase the coverage of the northern territories, the development of the new supply routes, and the creation of a more extensive logistics network. Now, the construction and modernization of the ports and the expansion of the icebreaker fleet will accelerate, and that can only benefit both parties. This will also strengthen Russia's position as a key transit point in global trade, promoting Russia's international alliance. Now, Arctic Sea Alliance. Analysts are optimistic about the potential for the transit via the NSR. I mean, the route's already in use, which confirms its practical value. But in the coming years, the NSR will be a primary resource for the transportation of Russian hydrocarbons and other particular commodities, like nickel, coal, etc. In the next 15 years, it could be a competitive alternative, seriously, to the traditional routes. And anyway, the Northern Sea route is no longer a novelty, but it's now a part of the global trade. And Moscow and Beijing are going to jointly be responsible for its development. And given the fact that climate change is rendering this route more accessible and profitable throughout the year, so this has transformed what was supposed to be a climate challenge into an economic opportunity. So there you have it, the Russian Arctic, the Northern Sea route, and it's all happening. Thank you for watching, and see you all again soon. Thank you.